Hello friends! What a way to introduce a new vlog. I look rough, I feel rough, I'm not doing too fabulous. I seem to have come down with some sort of cold, but it doesn't feel like a cold, more just a cough and a sore throat, and I'm not feeling too fabulous, and if I talk for too long, I just kind of lose my throat a bit. So, quick introduction for this vlog. It is part 2 of April. I should know off the top of my head where I'm at. I think I'm 14 books in. 14 books in. So I'm doing quite well. So we are ready to hit part 2, starting with book number 15 of April for me. And today is a work from home day for me. So I'm gonna listen to an audiobook whilst I do some work, and I've decided I'm gonna go for something easy and chill, and I'm gonna go for Spellstoppers by Kat Gray. This is a middle grade that I did put on my TBR. I don't know too much about it. I think this boy can like stop magic or something. He can drain dangerous builds-up of magic. Oh, and his granddad is kidnapped. That sounds like kind of typical middle grade. But yeah, I think I just need something easy to listen to whilst I work today. So this is the plan to kick off part 2 of 30 and 30. Already 15, well, this will be the 15th book. I hope I can just get through this today whilst working. It shouldn't take too long. I'm feeling pretty good. I do think in the first part of April there was a lot of manga, which will have helped with racking up those numbers quite so quickly, so I'll probably slow the pace down a bit more, but that's the plan. So let's go. Hello, it has been a couple of days since I introed this vlog. It is now Sunday the, I don't know, like 14th? What's the date today? 14th, wow, good guess. I did exactly what I said I was going to do in reading this. I listened to the audiobook of this whilst I was at work or working from home and finished this. Very typical middle grade. I liked it, it was quick, it was fun, but not memorable. I don't think necessarily massively unique. Young child is kind of sheltered from a world of magic that he needs to learn about because he needs to control his powers that he's developing. There is an evil source that needs to be overcome. The adults can't possibly do it, but this child with its power can. You know? Very typical formula. Which, you know, is tried and tested for middle grades. It works, it's fine. It's just not one that stood out to me massively. But it was a quick read, enjoyed enough for what it was. Cool, moving on. This weekend I was supposed to have my Patreon Pokeathon gym. I say supposed to have, it still happened for them, but obviously I was really ill, so the midnight sprints didn't go to plan because I'm still recovering from said illness. I do feel a bit better, but not massively. And then the day of the gym disaster struck, which was actually only yesterday. And yesterday, sadly, we had to have my family dog put to sleep, put to rest. She was very old. She was 14. She was a beagle. Her name's Willow. Willaboo, Booby, Boobadoo. Yeah, she was 14, and Mum took her to the vets yesterday morning because something just wasn't right and we weren't really sure what it was, and it turns out that her body was shutting down. She was done. So wonderfully it was just old age, which is, you know, something to be so fortunate for, but it doesn't make it hurt any less when you lose a family pet. She's, you know, 14, she's been in the family for 14 years, longer than my sisters have. So it was a really hard, emotional day yesterday. and yeah, I didn't read a single thing. I'm actually surprised that I feel as kind of stable as I do right now. I think it helps that obviously I've got Finn to snuggle and cuddle and get all the puppy loving from, but I think it does also help to know that she was old and in pain because her body was quitting. So it was definitely the right thing to do, but doesn't make it hurt less, does it? It's still very painful, but therefore didn't read anything, you know? And I think that is permissible. Today, however, is a new day, and as I say, I do feel kind of emotionally okay about everything today. I don't know if maybe it just hasn't hit me, or I don't know. I need to sneeze. Bless me. But yeah, I'm feeling emotionally okay today, so I'm gonna try and get some reading done. My sisters stayed at mine last night. They were obviously also very upset, and Mum was very upset and wanted to sort some things out at home, and my sisters wanted to be here with Finn and stuff, so they stayed last night. They have now gone, and I would like to try and make the most of what's left of the weekend. It's 3 o'clock on Sunday, so not a great deal left of the weekend, but I would like to try and read some of Bookshops and Bone Dust. I am a certain number of pages into this. I don't know off the top of my head because my physical copy is down in the garden, but I'm a certain number of pages into that, and I would like to read some more of that, make the most of Sunday afternoon with some fairly clear spring weather. So I still feel a bit groggy. I definitely look a bit groggy, sorry about that. But yeah, let's make the most of a little bit of spring sunshine, try and chill out in the garden, and relax after a difficult weekend. Let's go and try and read some in what's left of the sunshine. Hello. It is later in the day on Sunday. I have not read masses today, but I have read just over 100 pages of Bookshops and Bone Dust. I was really enjoying reading outside in the sun for a bit, and I did some Patreon sprints as well to hang out with my lovely patrons who are just the best bunch ever. I love them so much. So was reading and hanging out with them for a bit, which has been nice. And then I had a cry for a little bit. I know I said I was feeling emotionally stable, but that doesn't mean that, you know, it doesn't hit. And it hit for a little bit, and I was looking through old pictures, like pictures from when Finn was a puppy playing with his Auntie Boo. And I sobbed for a bit. Now I've given myself a headache. I feel very tired. My cold is hurting my face, and I think I need to go to bed. So I think I'm going to be leaving this at 100 pages for the day. I have not finished anything yet, but I think I might start the audiobook for A Prayer for the Crown Shy. I read A Psalm for the Wild Bill, which is actually right here. I read this one in the last vlog of April, and I said I wasn't necessarily, like, super excited for the sequel. It wasn't, like, a high priority for me. However, the feeling that that book had of just a chill, calm break, and for anyone that just needs a chill time and a cup of tea, that vibe, I think, in my present state, is kind of what I need, and that's why I think I gravitated towards picking this up, the, like, cozy fantasy. And if I had the audiobook for this, I would just keep reading this, but I really just want to go and shut my eyes for a bit. And I think the audiobook for A Prayer for the Crown Shy could be a good shout, and it's on Everand. Oh, it's been a nice day. It's been an okay day. I don't know why I'm lying to myself. I'm gonna go to bed now. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Monday. Is it the 15th today? It is the 15th today. We're halfway through the month. My voice feels like it's coming back a bit more. last night I said I was going to go to bed with Prayer for the Crown Shy to just relax with it for a little bit. I did, and then I finished it off today listening to the audiobook at work, and have completed it. I liked it about as much as I liked the first one. I still don't think either of them is necessarily anything like groundbreaking. I don't know if maybe Becky Chambers just isn't like a top tier author for me, but they were a nice, easy break. And what was the acknowledgement in this one? For anybody who doesn't know where they're going. So that's sweet. And then the other one obviously being for anyone who needed a break and a cup of tea. Like, they are nice, chill books that are vibes. It's just a relaxing time. There is a message about, like, not knowing where you're going, finding purpose, taking a break, just existing, which is nice and sometimes necessary, and I do feel like that was exactly what I needed. So I'm very glad that I did pick this one up, and this was book number 16 for the month of April. My plan for this evening is to go to bed with Bookshops and Bone Dust and try and make a little bit more progress through this. I'm still feeling that like cozy fantasy vibe, but there is something about me that is missing a big chunky fantasy, so I think after this I may be called towards something a little bit chunkier, but we'll see. We'll see how I feel when I've actually finished this one. I am enjoying this a lot. And I have a bunch of Amazon parcels here that need opening, so I thought we could do that together. And Finn now very much wants the box, so shall we go through some of these? One of these is something I have ordered, the others are not, so let's see what we get. This is the one that I ordered. I ordered The Last Phi Hunter by Selene Goldenberg. This also is beautifully floppy. I mentioned this in my like spring radar, like spring releases on my radar video, and Jessie messaged me about wanting to buddy read it and reminded me that I didn't actually own it yet, so I ordered that. So I did spend a token myself on this one, but that's okay because I have earned a few this month. So I'm going to read this with Jessie. We're going to buddy read it, and it should be a good time. It sounded like fun. There is the like nightmare demon, the demon of nightmares, who's eluded hunters, and this hunter is going to go on a quest to find the demon of nightmares. But isn't there like a pregnant woman that he needs to help, but she's got secrets or something, if I'm remembering correctly? But that cover is gorgeous, and the flop. Ugh. I feel like it's been ages since I've had a massive stack of Amazon parcels. So who have I got to thank for all of this? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I feel like I know who is responsible for this, but we have got Ragnar Crimson 6 and Ragnar Crimson 7. I'm so excited to read more Ragnar Crimson. I didn't want my April to be full of manga, but with how much I've fallen in love with the Ragnar Crimson series, Finn's very much enjoying that cardboard. With how much I've fallen in love with this, I feel like it's just destined to happen. I'm guessing I have Cece to thank for that. A gift from Cece. I wonder who it could be. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's from Cece. She is the best and the worst rolled into one. What have we got in this one? Thank you so much, Cece. You are the best. Oh, this one doesn't want to be opened. It is... oh my goodness! It's Ragnar Crimson number 10! Did Cece do the whole lot? I think she might have done, because this one is also from Cece. Cecilia, I know that's not your name. You are troublesome. Which makes me think one of these is going to have 8 and 9 in it. Let's have a look. This one is, oh my goodness, this is Ragnar Crimson 11. Now I am complete from CC, which means that the one that I haven't opened is gonna have 8 and 9 in it. Yep. Ragnar Crimson, 8. And Ragnar Crimson 9. Oh my goodness. Right, let me just get the gift note out of here. So, we have got many books here. All of this is thanks to Cece. Do you know how incredibly grateful I am to have this woman as one of my friends? Do you know how much I have to tell her that she really needs to learn to spend money on herself? She is the most giving person, and I know what she'll say is that giving things to other people is what makes her happy, and that's what she enjoys doing, so let her do it in peace. But she just does the absolute most. And I'm so grateful, and I'm gonna enjoy all of this so much. So thank you, Cece, for completely enabling me, because she was also responsible for the other volumes I've got over there. So I now have volumes 4 and 5 over there, also from CC, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 to read. So I could just fill out the rest of April with just reading Ragnar Crimson. I'm not gonna do that, but I could. Right, I'm gonna go to bed and try and read some Bookshops and Bone Dust. I might take a volume of Ragnar Crimson to bed with me as well and see if I maybe read that instead. Hello! I have reading updates. I haven't finished anything since finishing Breath of the Crown Shy, but I am a lot closer to finishing Bookshops and Bone Dust now. I am on page 261, so not too much left of this one. I am very much enjoying. I'm loving the bookshop vibes. It feels like hanging out in a dusty old bookshop, and I love it. But also, there is plot happening, and I'm intrigued by said plot. But I'm mostly here for the cozy hanging out in a bookshop vibes. But having a good time with that. However, I also started another book today, and that is Sunbringer by Hannah Kaner. I finally decided I would start this one. I have been listening to the audiobook of this one. I only started it today, but I'm on page 79, chapter 11 of this. Obviously, this is the sequel to Godkiller. There is not much I can say about this without spoiling Godkiller. But in this world, the king has enforced god killers who kill these god creatures that manifest when people pray to them and create shrines and give offerings and so on. And these gods have a lot of power. And there was a war with the gods, and the king has permitted the killing of gods, creating god killers. In the first one, we follow a god killer, a knight, and a little girl who is, for some reason, attached to a little god. This is book 2 of that. I am enjoying, but I don't have many strong thoughts so far. I don't think I'm far enough in. Mainly, it just feels the same as how I felt about Godkiller, but we'll see as it continues. But yeah, that's 2 books that I am now currently reading. I really need to finish one of them. I should finish Bookshops and Bone Dust tomorrow, and then for my physical read, I don't know what I will pick up after that. We'll have to cross that bridge when we get there. But there is your update for today. Nothing finished, but progress made. I think I have read like over 200 pages today, which isn't bad for a Tuesday. You know, I've been at work all day. Not bad. But yeah, I'm gonna take myself to bed with Bookshops and Bone Dust and trick myself into thinking that I'm gonna read some of it in bed and then actually not read anything in bed and just fall asleep, because that's what I do every night. Ta-da! I have finished Bookshops and Bone Dust. I've done it. It is the 17th, and I've just finished book 16, so I have fallen behind. Trying not to be mad at myself for that, because life has not been kind in the last week, but I have finished. I'm feeling a lot better as well. Like, I feel like my voice and my throat and my cough and everything is all doing so much better. This was just what the doctor ordered. This was cute, cozy, warm, felt like a warm hug in a dusty bookshop, and was exactly what I wanted, and I'm so glad that I did put it down when I did and then come back to it when I needed it, and I'm glad it was there when I needed it. And I think this book will probably hold a special place in my heart for that very reason, for being exactly what I needed when I needed it. But a cute story about a bookshop that needed a little boost, and a baker that makes the best treats, and an orc who's in the right place at maybe an okay time. Might not be the right time, the right enough time. And it was just a good time, and I'm really glad to have read it. I do think there's a certain element of this that then makes some things from Legends and Lattes maybe just not feel quite so right. I don't know how to explain this. So in this, Viv it's years prior when she's still going about being her violent self and with a little war band traipsing around, and she gets injured and she ends up staying in this town with a bookshop, and she helps out in this bookshop. And I don't know what it is about that just then makes it feel like some of the like trials that they go through with the coffee shop in Legends and Lattes, it feels a little bit like, well, come on, Viv, you now I know you've done this before. You know, you've helped a business in the past. You should know what you're doing a little bit more. But maybe it's been a while since I read Legends and Lattes, so I don't know. But also, like, I don't care about that. I feel like I should mention it, because it's my job to review books and be somewhat critical. But, like, I don't care about that. Like, this was perfect for what I needed it to be. It was cozy, it was warm, it smelt good, you know? Like, it smelt like a fresh book and a fresh pastry and a warm evening, and that is all I needed it to be. And that is my review of this, okay? Star rating wise, probably a 4, but it holds a special place in my heart, so do with that what you will. So yeah, I finished a book. Hip hip hooray. I am still listening to the audiobook of Sunbringer, but I want another physical read for right now, and I don't know what that is just yet, so I'm gonna try and work out what I'm gonna read next. I have showered, I am clean, my hair is still wet, but I have picked another book and started it and read the prologue, and I am reading The Delegate Dream Department Store. This was not on my TBR. I was supposed to kind of stick to my April TBR. It didn't happen, really, did it? It's there as a very loose guide. But this one I picked up recently when I went bookshopping with Gavin. If you didn't know, I went bookshopping with Gavin. He did a video for it, if you haven't seen that. And we both picked this one up. And I want to read it right now. So that's what I have decided to do. And I have read the prologue. So far so good. Seems like good vibes. I feel like I'm very much continuing that, like, cozy feel. This is about a mysterious town that lies in our hidden collective subconscious, and a quaint little store where all kinds of dreams are sold. This is like a dreamland, and when you're asleep, you go to the dreamland, and there's like a shopping centre, and there is the Delegate Dream Department Store, where they sell all kinds of dreams. And one of the dreams that is mentioned is called Becoming a Giant Tortoise in the Galapagos. And when I saw that, I just got very excited because, one, that sounds amazing. Who wouldn't want to be a giant tortoise in the Galapagos? And two, next year, I am going to see the giant tortoises in the Galapagos. And I'm so excited about that. And you could come with me if you wanted to come to the Galapagos. There are still spots available on my Galapagos trip with Trover Trip. I will leave the link to it down below. If you want to come with me to see the giant tortoises and the flamingos and the marine iguanas and the sea lions and the sharks and go to the Charles Darwin Centre and just explore the Galapagos Islands with me and some other friends, then the link is down below. But I saw Galapagos in this and got very excited because I'm excited about the Galapagos. And you should be too. But yeah, I've read the prologue, enjoying the vibe so far. I'm going to take this to bed with me now and fool myself into thinking I'm going to read a little bit more before I fall asleep. But I'm probably just going to fall asleep. Hello. I've just finished a book. I've just finished Sunbringer by Hannah Kaner. I can take my bookmark out now because I have updated my reading journal. This, I have thoughts, I have feelings, and I don't think they're good. Don't think they're good at all. I think this book dragged. I think this book, considering it's not a long book, this book was like 100 pages too long. I think this book has very much middle book issues where it's, in places it almost felt like a repeat of the first book. Like, I liked Godkiller, I didn't dislike Godkiller. I felt like Godkiller had a lot of potential to be really good, but something about the writing and the pacing just wasn't quite right, and I kind of put that down to it being a debut, and I thought, you know what, there's so much potential for its sequel to be so good. And I was really looking forward to this, and I thought it was going to deliver to a higher standard than Godkiller did. And it just didn't. The plot, it felt middle booky. Like, the plot didn't have a lot of its own plot. It felt like we were repeating some of the same themes that we had from the first book, and almost towards the end it felt like we were almost, excluding some of the, like, big reveals, we almost have the same ending that we had for the first book as well. So again, it feels like it's setting up for something incredible to come in this next book, and now that we've got some of these reveals as well that we've had in this one, again, there's so much potential for this one's sequel to be so good, and I expect it to deliver at a higher standard, and I don't know if that's just me being hopeful, because the whole premise of this world and these gods is so good, and I want it to be so good, and it's just missing the mark for me. I feel like I've just word vomited, and I don't even know what I've said, but they're my thoughts and feelings on this one. I think some of my favourite things from the first book are missing a little bit from this one. And I think it's trying very hard to be this complex political landscape, and it's just not landing quite right. Certain characters' motivations just don't align right in my mind. And quite honestly, for a lot of this, because it felt very repetitive, but like it was going nowhere, I was quite bored. So I don't think I had the best time with this one. I definitely preferred Godkiller over Sunbringer. And Godkiller got a 3-star. So I don't know if this is feeling maybe low 3-star. I don't think it's quite a 2-star. But like it might be. I don't know. I don't know, but I did not have the best time with this. But the premise of this world with all of these gods, and these gods, like how these gods manifest, and then these gods being killed, and then gods having certain controls, or let's have some light back from the computer. Gods having certain controls or power or lack of power, and how that affects the people of this land and people's faith, and like it has so much potential to be something that I could really enjoy. Like, my buzzwords are so present in this and it's just missing. So I'm kind of disappointed. But another one done. That puts me at, that was my 18th book. It is the 19th of April, and that was my 18th book, so I have a little bit of catching up to do this weekend. But I am still reading Delegate Dream Department Store. Not very far into that at all. I kept saying I was going to read it in bed, and then I never did. But my evening is now free. I do have a bit of a headache. I do feel a little bit sick. My cold seems to be... Was it even a cold? My cough seems to be so much better, which is good. Still a little bit chesty now. But I've got a headache and I feel sick and I don't know what that's about. So I think my plan is going to be go to bed, stick some ambience on the TV, and read some of Delegate Dream Department Store. If I fall asleep, so be it. It's not late, it's only 8 o'clock. But if I fall asleep, so be it. Jake's not here, he's gone out to see his parents. So I'm just going to take some chill time, down some water to try and combat this headache, read a bit, chill out. And if I can make some good progress in Delegate Dream Department Store, that would be fantastic. So let's tackle that as the next item on this list. Please don't eat it. Ugh, this is the way to decompress when you feel a bit sick and you got a headache. Face mask. It's really nice and cold all over my face. Doesn't quite fit right, but it's nice and cold everywhere. Got my book ready to go if I can actually be bothered. The biggest water bottle you ever did see. Chugging that down. ASMR, ambient, rainfall, soft lighting. Oh. So, my progress with Delegate Dream Department Store is still very little. I'm only on page 36 of that one, so that hasn't gone very well. But what I have done instead is read volume 4 of Ragnar Crimson, because I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed, and this is so good. And I kind of want to read volume 5 immediately. But I do need to make some progress with Delegate Dream. So I'm gonna restrain and actually make some progress with Delegate Dream. But another incredible volume of Ragnar Crimson. If I haven't already gushed about this enough lately to convince you to start Ragnar Crimson, let me do it again. Dragons. Dragon hunters. But these dragons deserve to be hunted. Timey-wimey stuff, shape-shifting, alternate timelines with crossovers in certain places, would I call them a hero, or would I call them an antagonist? I'm not sure where this certain character lies, but there is one character who is on the side of our hero, but is not a hero, who knows way more than they're letting on, and I think has a lot of power in how this story is gonna go. depending on how much they want to tell us or not tell us. I won't gush too much. And we've just met the character from this cover in this one, and I think she is gonna be important in future volumes, and I'm very excited to see how that changes up the dynamic between our main duo, because I'm not sure how that's gonna go. But I love it. I love this so much. The dragons are nuts. Our hero is not exactly stable either. Like, everyone is just wild. And I love it. Okay, I'm gonna not read volume 5 straight away though. Maybe I'll save that for next week in the next vlog. But before I end this vlog, I really want to finish Delegate Dreams. So this vlog is probably gonna go into tomorrow. It shouldn't do, because I'm supposed to be breaking April into thirds, but we're gonna touch into the 21st, and I'm gonna challenge myself to finish that book, so I'd better start reading. Just a little update to say I've been doing it. I've been reading in bed, and I have made progress, and this is really calm and relaxing and chilled, and I'm not really sure what the plot is other than our main character Penny working at this dream shop, but it's just chill and I'm having a nice time. But I'm tired now, so I think I'm gonna go to sleep and finish it tomorrow. But I'm on page 95, so I will finish this off tomorrow, which feels achievable, and then we will wrap this vlog up. Hello! Mission accomplished. I liked this. I didn't love it. It didn't, like, blow my socks off, but I liked it. It was cute. It was kind of exactly what I expected it to be. Like, I don't think there was, like, necessarily a big overarching plot, but we follow the dream store and the dream makers and the people who select these dreams and how their dreams impact their life, whether that be through inspiration, family connections, relationships, so on. And it was just really nice and heartwarming. And I think I'm going to give it a 4-star rating. So there we go. I feel like I don't really have a lot to say about it. It was very simply written, but it worked. And like, the visuals of the dream store I think were pretty strong. Like, I could clearly see that. Dreamland, maybe a little bit less so. The characters were all very bold. Penny, as our main character, she's kind of who we experience all of this through, is very sweet. And she grows to love what she does and loves the dream store. Hello, Finn. And yeah, it was a cute, fun time, and I'm very glad that I read it. And I'm just sorry it took so long to get through. But that is it for this vlog. So, where does that leave us? I am feeling a little bit behind. 20 books in, actually. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'm not as behind as I thought. 20 books in, and part 2 of April is over. So I'm actually feeling okay. I thought that was going to be worse than that, but I haven't added Ragnar Crimson 4 to my list, which I definitely did finish. So what have we had in this vlog? Spellstoppers, Prayer for the Crown Shy, Bookshops and Bone Dust, Sunbringer, Ragnar Crimson 4, and Delegate Dream Department Store. Not bad. I am excited to continue into the last part of April. I have some big books I want to get to in the last part of April, so pray for me, fingers crossed there. Have I been out of focus this whole time? I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up so I can get on with importing and editing all of this footage. It's been a weird one, an emotional one, and I think the shift I kind of took to some cozier, calmer reads definitely helped my emotional state, and I think my emotional state means that those books have landed very well for me. So good timing, good time, but a hard point in life. Yeah, I'm not gonna dwell, I'm just gonna wrap this up. So thanks for hanging out with me for this portion of April. Stay tuned for the last bit and see if I manage the final 10 books in the final 10 days. I am concerned because there are some big ones coming up. Whether I actually get to them or not, I might have to shift my plans and do more manga and less big books, but you'll find out in that one. For now, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in whatever comes next. Bye!